Some of the hardest things to start are the things we are actually good at. Not because we are unprepared, no, but because we care deeply. Now, when I tried to launch this podcast, I found myself frozen. Not confused, not lazy, just stuck. If you ever wondered why capable people freeze at the starting line, this episode is for you. What makes this so unsettling is not the difficulty of the task, but the contradiction it creates inside us. I know I can do this, so why can't I just start? Now, that question carries frustration, self doubt, and often quiet shame. Today, we're not rushing to fix it. We are first going to understand it, and by the end of this episode, I'll share a few simple ways to begin moving again. Not perfect but faithfully. So you want to begin something that matters, a new initiative, a business idea, a leadership role, a presentation where people expect a competence, a parenting decision where mistakes feel costly, or something creative, writing, teaching, preaching, planning, innovating. You sit down to begin and your mind goes blank. You overthink, you second guess, you prepare endlessly, and you don't start. You just feel stressed just thinking about it, overwhelmed before you even begin, exhausted without doing anything. You know what to do, but you feel unable to act. At some point, we have to name what's going on, not to label you, but to make sense of the experience. Now, what you're facing is often called perfectionism, and when perfectionism stops you from beginning, it turns into something else, what many psychologists call perfectionistic paralysis. It might sound heavy, but it's actually very common, especially among capable, thoughtful people. Perfectionism by itself isn't bad. High standards can motivate excellence. The problem begins when these standards stop serving us and start silencing us. The irony is this: the very trait that once helped you excel now keeps you stuck. And most of the time, no one else is demanding perfection from you. The pressure is coming from inside. At the center of this paralysis is a belief that often goes unquestioned. I have to be good. I have to get this right. I have to prove my competence. I can't afford to mess up. These beliefs doesn't stay alone. If I have to be good, then I must not make any mistake. If I make mistake, it says something about me. And if my worth is at stake, starting begins to feel dangerous. Psychologically, this pressure shows up as two fears: the fear of failure, the fear of being evaluated, judged, exposed. What will people think? What if this isn't good enough? And the second fear is the fear of imperfections. Mistakes stop feeling like part of learning, instead start feeling like a proof of failure. Every draft feels unacceptable. Rough beginnings feel unsafe, and so we stop before we even start. This is where faith quietly speaks. The human story doesn't begin with human perfection, it begins with a human need. We don't move forward because we are flawless, we move forward because we need help. Let me tell you what happens inside the brain. Think of your brain like an organization. Now, at the top is the CEO, the dorsal prefrontal cortex, and the part that plans, decides, and initiates action. But there is also a security system, the amygdala, whose job is survival. When the stakes feel high, when evaluation feels possible, the alarm goes off and the CEO is pushed aside, and that's when people say, my mind goes blank. It's not an imagination, it's biology. There's also the internal auditor, the ACC, which scans for errors and uncertainty. In perfectionist people, the auditor is extremely alert. The result: freeze. No dramatic panic, but overthinking, overplanning, and endless preparation without action. The brain thinks it's protecting you, but it's keeping you stuck. So, how do we move forward? Not by force, but by helping the brain feel safe enough to start. First, name the fear. Say it honestly. I'm afraid this won't be good enough. I'm afraid people will judge me. Now, naming the fear reduces its power. Silence feeds it. Honesty weakens it. Number 2, shrink the task. Make the task smaller than you fear. Not finish the project, just open the document. Not record the episode, but Test the microphone. Momentum doesn't come from motivation. Motivation comes from movement. Number 3, lower the stakes. Stop treating the first attempt like a final performance. This is a draft, an experiment, a first step. Excellence is not refusing to begin until everything is right. Excellence is staying present long enough to grow. Let me leave you with a quiet reminder from the scripture. Do not despise the day of small beginnings, for the Lord rejoices to see the work begin from Zechariah. God does not wait for perfection. He rejoices at beginnings. If you have been frozen, it doesn't mean that you're incapable. It means you care. You don't need to see the whole path. You don't need to feel ready. You just need to take the next honest step. This is Between Sundays. In the next episode, we'll speak directly to those who are driven by excellence, those who carry responsibility, expectations, and pressure. For now, remember this: starting small is not a failure, it is faith.